Alright, today we're going to be talking about describing distributions with numbers. The three main things we're going to be talking about are the mean, median, and mode. And also, in addition to these, we're going to be talking about measuring spread. So there's two different measures that we want to talk about: the interquartile range and the standard deviation. Okay, so let's create some data. So let's just say we have the following data represents average number rainy days in a year by month. Okay, so we have 12 months: January, February, March. Okay, these are our 12 months. And in each of those months, let's say on average this is the number of rainy days. And I'm making these up. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So if we want to find the mean, we simply find the sum of the numbers and divide by the total number of numbers. So we can denote the mean by x with a bar over it equals the sum of all the numbers over the total number of numbers. So the sum of all these would be, I have to get my calculator out, and you can work on this while I'm working on it. Okay, got 81. Okay, and that total is divided by 12. Which is about 6.75 rainy days a month. So that's the first measure that we're looking at. The second measure we're trying to find is the median. Okay, so let's make some space for this. Okay, median. In order to find the median, we first have to arrange these numbers in increasing order. So we start with 3, 4, and why don't we do this in another color? We have 2 more. 2 more 5s. A 7. 2 8s. 2 9s. And the 15. The median is the middle number. Okay, it's the midpoint of the distribution. So half of the observations will be on this side and half will be on that side. So since half of 12 is 6, okay, there's not a single number here. We have to take the average of these two. So here the median would be 5 plus 7 over 2, which is 6. Okay, so say we had an odd number, okay, 1, 3, and 6. The median would just be the middle number for this one. Okay, since we had an even number of data points, we have to take the average of the middle two. Okay, so the third thing we wanted to talk about was the mode. And the mode is simply the number that occurs the most. So the mode is, here it's more than 1. Actually, sorry, it's 4. Because the 4 occurs 3 times. The mode is 4. Okay. Let's talk about different distributions and their means and medians. So as we said, this distribution, okay, is going to be symmetric. This one is skewed left, and this one skewed right. Okay, so in each of these, I'm going to color code the mean. Okay, so this represents the mean. This line, and this represents the median. Okay, so here the median, or sorry, the mean, and we're going to compare the mean and the median. If the distribution is exactly symmetric, the mean equals the median, so they're the same. In skewed distribution, the mean is farther out along the tail than is the median. Okay, so the mean is usually farther out in the long tail. So the mean is over here. Here the mean is less than the median. Here the mean is greater than the median. Again, we're assuming smaller numbers are here and bigger numbers are here. So this is the relationship between the mean and the median. How are we doing on time? Alright, so now let's talk about spread. Okay, so if we were looking at some data, let's say 10 test scores, and these are test scores that are out of, let's just say, 50 points. If we wanted to write all these test scores, let's say we got 4, 10, 14, 18, 19, 25, 38, 40, 42, and a 49. Okay. So let's just say we had one set with 10 test scores and then we had another set with 11. How's everybody stat? Okay, so if we want to find the quartiles, okay, we can use the quartiles to determine the spread. So to calculate the quartiles, you must first arrange the observations in increasing order. And that's already done for us. And locate the median. Okay, so in this case, in 10 observations, since we have an even number of observations, we know it has to be the average of these two. Okay, so if we add those together, we get 44, and divide that by 2, we get 22. That's the median. Now here we have an odd number, so it's just going to be the 6th observation because there's 5 on either side, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the median there. Now, once we've done that, we've arranged the observations in increasing order, from lowest here to the highest here, and found the median. The next step is to find the first quartile. It's the median of the observations whose position in the list is to the left of the location of the overall median. So if you have an even number of observations, have to find the median of these numbers right here. So we have to find the median of these numbers to find the first quartile. So here, the first quartile is this. Here, we'd have the median of these 5 observations, which would be this one right here. This would be the third quartile. Okay, or Q3. And we can abbreviate this as Q1. So this is Q1 and this is Q3. Now if we have an odd number of observations, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the first quartile is going to be right here. And then the third quartile is right here. Okay, that's the median of these right here. So once we found that, we can find the interquartile range, which is Q3 minus Q1. So the IQR here is 26, and here it is 28. Okay, so that's a measure of spread. So while we're on this topic, we might as well talk about box plots. So the box plot has a central box. Oh, let's write this down. Has a central box that spans quartile 1 and 3. Okay, and then a line in the box that's the median. And lines that extend to the smallest and largest observation. So we have 1, 2, and the third thing is lines that extend to the smallest and largest observation. And I have to abbreviate, I'm sorry. So why don't we use this data to do a box plot? So I'm going to save this right here. And then I'm going to do a new one. Okay, so let's just say we had Q1, Q3, and the median, and the minimum number, and the maximum. So let's do a quick data set. Let's just say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9. Okay, so we know the median is going to be this number, Okay, this is going to be Q3, and this is going to be Q1. And this one will be your min and max. So if we wanted to draw a box plot, we could either draw it vertically or horizontally, either way. Okay, so in your middle right here, you have a line. Okay, and that number represents your median. And you have another line right here and another line right here. Okay, these are your, sorry, this is your first quartile, and this is your third quartile. So if each of these represents 2, this would be 7, that would be 9, so 8 would be right there. Okay, so this is your third quartile, this is your first quartile, and this is your median. And the lines that would extend from the box, they extend to the minimum. So this is 1, this would go here up to 2, right? It extends to 2, and then this extends to the maximum, which is just 9. So that's your box plot. Okay, this is your minimum, maximum, third quartile, median, first quartile. Okay, I think that concludes our lecture on describing distributions with numbers. We'll talk about standard deviation in the next lecture.